Okay, so it's 7:03 on Monday, the 19th, which now it being Monday, I'm curious to see what's going to go on this week. It seems like the all the stuff going around with the ICE thing seems to be like the big, I don't know, like the big show that just keeps getting bigger and bigger. The right now, everything feels so weird. And I had the weirdest dreams again last night. So weird. And I thought I was going to remember them. I can't remember them at all right now. Oh, yeah, I want this pillow behind me. I was like, man, why does it feel like my back is killing me back here? I was like, why is there nothing to lean on? Oh, I forgot the pillow was up above me. So I put it up there so that there's more room in the chair. So when and I put a blanket over it so the dogs can lay on it at night. But a lot of nights, like last night, everybody just wanted to pile on me. Everybody was so, I was like, everybody just kept being so uncomfortable. So it's still being so fucking whiny. Maybe the antibiotics are upsetting her stomach. She's on antibiotics. I don't know. She always is whining at me. She always wants me to fix everything. It's like, dude, I can't fix everything. And it gets me frustrated. Like, God dang. But last night was wacky, trying to go to bed. And it was just like, what the hell? I kept thinking it was the energy on the planet is so intense that it was making them all be like really crazy, which there's all these people talking about the shaman is really whacked out right now. And the last time it's doing a certain thing that the last time it did this, that there was that 8 point something in Russia of the earthquake. So they're saying, be ready. There's probably an earthquake somewhere that's going to happen. Because the shaman is showing this weird line again, and it's showing it even more. Like before, it didn't show it. Now it's bigger and more extreme. So it's got these new anomalies or new lines or whatever. So anyways, it is, the energy is super intense. So whatever you're feeling, like whenever, like my daughters will be complaining about something, I'm always like, well, it's probably the energy. I said, you probably feel different tomorrow. You just got to write it out. And writing it out, though, you need to just, I don't know, it's like witness yourself. Like just trying to understand yourself. Where does it come from? Why am I feeling this way? What is it bringing up in me? What is trying to purge out of me? You know what I'm saying? So, so anyways, my throat is just like, it's right back to this fucking throat thing. And it's, even though it hasn't been foggy, so it was foggy for all those days. And now it's just been overcast. And so it still has that thickness, thickness in the atmosphere. And I just saw this guy who did this study, and so he was testing his sweat. And then, so it came back at a certain amount of okay, let's just call it tinfoil. You know what tinfoil is. And so, what's another word for tinfoil? So they're testing for that compound. And when it came back, there's a big difference in the amount when there's a bunch of stuff in the lines being drawn up in the sky, or if there's clear. And so when it's clear, it's lower, but there's still some. But when it's when it's busy up there, then it is extreme amount. And so he was saying, you gotta sweat it out. You gotta do something to sweat all of these impurities out of you. And that's the thing, is like so many people just don't realize like how important the detoxing is. Like all the time when I see these people, like yesterday I saw this guy and he was very, very upset. So he was on a bunch of like, the stuff they give you, like if you're really sad or you're really depressed or you're really having issues emotionally, and they just say, here, take this, you'll feel better. And so, and then if you go back and you say, well, I still feel sad. Well, just take another one of these, add this and do this. So, some of these people have them like a couple. Like I was, they did that to me before. So I've lived the experience. But there's certain people that have a bad reaction. And so they start having, something happens to them from taking that. And now he has got, I don't know, when I was listening to him, he's got a lot of issues apparently, and he's really, really struggling because he's in so much pain all the time. So whatever it did, it triggered like some kind of nerve problem in his body. And it seemed like there was even more things. And he was trying to like enlighten people over some of this stuff, which just makes you think all the time. To me, I'm always thinking like, God dang, man, people have got to get off of all these different, little pad things that they write out because of the, the effects that come with it, and the ones that you don't want, and those ones are long lasting. And so he's been living like this for like a year or something, and I guess it's more rare. Oh my gosh, hold on. I guess it's more rare, but it is, it can happen. And I bet you it's going to start happening to more and more people, because it's kind of like, uh, it's kind of like the universe's way, but you got to think about it your own way. So it's not like somebody up in the sky deciding it for you. It's like you decided, that you wanted to be pushed in a certain direction. And they couldn't just like write it in the sky. There had to be these little nudgings, these little things to push you in a different direction. Because probably whatever they've gotten away with, they're just doing more. So it's probably, worse and worse and worse, these things, these compounds. They're worse and worse, and we just keep taking them, and then people are getting sicker and sicker and sicker. And the thing is I saw so many different people talking about different sicknesses yesterday on TikTok. So another guy, he went in to get a defibrillator put in. And so everything seemed like it was going well. So they left, they got discharged, he went down to Walmart to pick up all his meds and fainted in the parking lot. And was taken, well, he didn't just faint, he had like a near-death experience. So he left his body there for a minute. And it was kind of cool because he said that he, when he was blacked out at first, his friend came and he said, his friend's dead. And he said, hi, Larry, what are you doing here? Something like that. And so he said, hi, Larry, but he also said it with his body. His wife told him, you said, hi, Larry, all of a sudden. And then, but then in his thing, it switched and Jesus was there. And Jesus opened his arms to him. And I think this has to do with what program you're running. And because not everybody sees Jesus. And because a lot of people who, they hold on to those stories and they say, see, it's real, but it's not real for everybody. It's what you believe, I think. And so he said it was weird because he was going into Jesus' arms, and then he heard these people praying about put him in Jesus' arms or something like that. And he thought, why is Jesus praying to himself and save him in the name of Jesus and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know if his wife or whoever was gathered around him, and the EMS was coming and they shocked and brought him back and stuff. But he had an awareness of what was going on, and then also his consciousness was in another place. And so anyways, he had to go back into the hospital. And now he's found out he's got this Wernicke's or something, and he's like all beside himself. His family's all beside themselves. So I went and I looked it up to see, and it sounded like, it wasn't like, oh well, it's a death sentence for you. It sounded like it's like a fainting disorder you can develop, arrhythmia. It's got a whole bunch of things like that. But it seemed, but you know, I mean, he left there for a minute, so maybe it is. You just are constantly dying and have to be brought back all the time. So, anyways, his defibrillator's not going to help now. So he's upset and doing videos. He said he's going to do videos, keep talking about it until he dies, whatever. And so, anyways, he's going through it. This other guy's going through it. I just saw so many. And to me, it's always, no matter what the thing is, I would 100%, like I even said to the one guy who taken who had the psych things and taken that stuff. And I said, have you detoxed? You know, have you looked into Chinese medicine, man? Like, because you probably need to do a detox, like get all the toxins out of there. And I haven't seen where he's answered back, but all the time when I say stuff, I don't get any answers back. So I don't know if my comments are removed, or if the people is just like, well, that's stupid. If Western medicine can't save me, then who can? I was like, oh, well, that's the question. So, it falls back on you. It's you. You're here to save you. Don't rely on them, because they're only getting worse and worse and worse. Like this video, I swear to God this happened a while ago, but I just saw a girl talking about it. And there was a news report about it. And this, so apparently that there was a hospital, and they had a big duffel bag thrown up by their doors. So they went out and got the duffel bag, and it was full of fresh kidneys. I swear to God, this happened months ago, because I remember hearing about that and just being like, oh my God, what the hell? And so then, but you know, those are the kind of things where it's like, you know, well, why? What is the deal with this kidney which I've been talking about for years? Like, what is the deal with this kidney situation? Like, it's so strange. But I think that there's a lot. I think there's a lot to it. I think that there's it's not just like yum yum supper time. I think it's also about there's certain things, you take those cells and grow more cells. You need those for this. Like there's something more going on in, you know, the sterile room with all of the white coats that is, you know, experimenting and stuff. So I don't know, but there's going to be, you know, I mean, it's odd. But anyway, so in this girl's video, she was like, this is a movie. This is all so ridiculous. Because on the news, they did a news story about it. And it was talking to the doctor. And the doctor was like, it's a gift from God. We've got this beautiful gift. And it's all so fresh. And we're so lucky. It's like, oh my God. So, and this girl who's doing the video, she's like, so where's the 100 people of who these came from? Like, which it could, even if they were taking one out of each person, it could be, you know, more people. It could be 200 people for 200 of those, or it could be 100 people who, you know, are gone completely and are missing both. So who knows? I just know that a long time ago, and I talked about this because I saw it a long time ago. This is like early on, is when I started, and I had seen that guy, because it was back when I was seeing lives all the time, before the big sweep on YouTube, and this guy was talking about, you know, because he's like a Chicago gangster or something. He reformed himself, but he was talking about like he knew ones that could go in there, grab somebody off the street, have them in the alley, and he said in like 30, 60 seconds or something, they'll have one of those out of there and be gone. And then there's all sorts of people who, like, they have a little drinky poo out somewhere and then wake up in a hotel in a tub of ice. So it's not always a completion. A lot of times it's you know, we're going to take one and go about your business. And which, you know, I mean, that's been going on for all these people going to Turkey to get cheap medical it's also like, well, you better watch out because you may come home with one kidney. So anyways, but it's just so absurd, you know, and the stuff is just so ridiculous. Yeah, and then we have doctors on there in the news, oh, like it's a gift from God. Like, and the lady's like, it's a freaking murder scene. Like, got a duffel bag full of this stuff, and they're just giving it away. It's like, who knows what the hell in this storyline we got going. It's all so absurd. Now, also, apparently, the truckers, so all of the truckers who have supplies, so you have certain states that need supplies, and I'm not really sure what the deal is, but they won't go into California, so they've created their own little, what is that called, that's going on everywhere, their own little protest situation. So they've just stopped at the border and they've just lined up. So they're just lined up and they're refusing to go in. And so the news there is saying that the stores in California only have a 3-day supply. They need new stuff every 3 days for all of the population. And so whatever you have in your cabinet right now is probably all you'll get unless something goes down and they cross and start bringing this stuff in. And which then you think some of it, if it's not like canned or dry goods, like some of the stuff would be like rotten in a couple days. So I don't know, but they got this big drama going on now with that. And I know that last week Donald had said something about like we're going to shut down funding to all of the red or all the blue places. So it would be more than just California. So I don't know what's going on in California. I don't know if it has to do with like, where's the 700 billion, fella? Gavin, show us where this money is. We're gonna, you deal with your own shit. And so I don't know. Who knows with all this dramas going on? Which one thing I was thinking about this morning, because that Australian lady who always talks about the med beds and stuff, who said, oh, April 2nd for sure. But she also said that last week, maybe it's this week, but there was going to be the thing that was going to go down with the money thing. So I don't know, because even if they had decided April 2nd, but she said dates so many times, it's like, I don't know. But you would think if it was going to truly be April 2nd, that the money situation would be more in March. But so I don't know. But but so we have the eclipse situation going, which that energy has already started, which that could also be part of like the Schumann, like this reverberation in this energy just going back and forth. And so so we have this eclipse situation. We have the build up to that. And so we're already past the date of no return. So we're already on our way to this big thing that they're saying is going to happen. This Pluto, Neptune, Fire Horse, all of these things that they're saying is going to be, it's like the collapse and also the seeing the truth and like this big change. And so I think so many of us would just welcome it. It's like, come on, please. And then if it's going to be like they said, the earthquake could be within 24, 48 hours, which I think we're already past that, but they said it could be any time this week. So that there could be a big earthquake, and then if one big earthquake comes, we still are on the whole thing of like, is this the one that creates the domino effect that just starts the whole thing? Because every time that there's a quaking, that it's moving those tectonic plates, and they're all out of sync. They're all messed up. Everything is, ready to go. It's like being on the Jenga game, and we're at the part where we're pulling the one, and there's all these holes, and you're like, oh, is this the one? So it's kind of like the tectonic plates are like a Jenga game underneath us, and one little pull can just tumble the whole thing. So, and who knows? And if that goes hand in hand with the big trauma, the big reveal, the big thing that's going to happen, that's going to bring us all together. Because, man, the stuff going on with, I mean, it just gets wackier and wackier, man. Like, these people, okay, so apparently the guy who decided to go down it, maybe there was more than one, but now what I keep seeing is about this one. And so this guy had gone down to where the people were in their mad frenzy trying to create a civil war situation. And that they, in the state that starts with an M, that Tim is, created this giant ordeal. And so I think it's going to be a crime. I think this is going to be a big thing. This is going to be like the Indians. It's going to be curtains for him. So I think this is his event of curtains. So I think that this is drawing to a conclusion. And so this fella goes down and he's wearing a red sweatshirt. Underneath the one red sweatshirt, he's wearing another red sweatshirt. But on the one red sweatshirt that's showing, on the back is a big red, white, and blue symbol and the word that it represents, which to most of the people who are waking up, that word is a big part of what we are all desiring. We want freedom from all of this nonsense. We don't want to be under this control of this regime, but the people who are out there in the battle, that they think it's this current regime that is their issue. And they don't see that the people who are fighting against him are the ones trying to keep us in the trap. And he's trying to show us that there is a trap. And so which I'm still curious about this whole thing that's going to go on at the DAVOS, and this whole whatever, this whole thing coming out about we're going to go into a techno world or whatever it was. We were talking about it yesterday on the live, and somebody put the word. I have a hard time with this word. It's like I could see it and hear it, but I can't say it. So anyways, but they want to take us into this techno society, which on one plane of existence, then I can see it making sense that we're going to have such high, we're going to go into such a more highly sophisticated technological jump, this quantum leap thing, that we're going to need people to help us to understand and explain it to us and help us to be able to navigate all of the big changes. So it makes sense to me on one part, but then if you're trying to say it as like we're going to be controlled by these people, then that doesn't make any sense to me, because the word that is represented by this, that we're all going towards, it has to do with us being independent. And so, but we have to break through, we have to break free to reach this state. And it is so much not about who we battle, because the battle is within. So it's each of us have to take our own steps to find our own way into what we consider our freedom or whatever. And like, I would not be going down and trying to like push buttons. Just like, this whole big thing about this lady down there trying to argue with these people that are trying to do their job and making it a big thing. And then she supposedly gets, has an exit going, trying to create all this drama. And which I think is all a big show. But when you think about it being a show, it's like, what are you trying to show us? And it kind of is like, don't interject yourself in this stuff. What are you trying to go and put yourself? Even when they make it more like, well, she even has kids and this and that, then it's like, yeah, why are you endangering yourself? What are you doing? And and why are you messing with them? Like, what? Just fucking, it's not your business, man. And so to me, it's kind of like to get us to see, like, to find our center, to not be interjecting ourselves into all these dramas. But it's the people who are still struggling with that current, that vibration, is they are interjecting themselves because they're riding on their ego, thinking that they're out saving the world. It's like, okay, it was something I saw today, which there was a whole bunch of things I'm going to talk about. But one of the things that was really driving home this point of like, so if you really want change and you really want this, you know, to go in the color of blue, then how is it going to move if you're all gone? Like, where does your real power lie? You know, like, think about it. And so now so one of the things is that, so this guy who's sporting this flag walking through the place, and which is also like taunting, just like this girl was doing to the ones, but kind of, I swear to God, it's almost like he's hired to taunt, to show this side of the crowd so that the crowd can see for themselves. And so the people who are in observation can see and be like, oh man, that is pretty bad. Like, why would we do that? And see, like, am I aligned with this? Is this how I want to be? Is this what I believe is right? So everything has to be like this extreme things. And so so he starts being attacked. And so he's getting drugged, attacked, like they're going crazy on him. And plus, they're so rude, too. And so, take off your sweatshirt if you don't want to be this or that. You better take it off now and stuff. And they're all, like, walking. And they've got all this garments all over. So just peeking out, which is like, you know, I mean, how more KKK? Like, come on, people. Come the fuck on, man. Why not just march in freedom? Why not, like, what in the world? So, and to even make it more, it seems that this guy is pretty dark. And so, yeah, you got all these these hooded heads going and like mobbing. And so he's trying to escape. So there's a car that pulls up at a stop sign or something. And so he runs and he tries to jump in their car. And he's like, help me, save me, save me. They're trying to get me. And so they're trying to take off, and all the people are mobbing on this car and, you know, hitting it and breaking it and stuff like that. So the people driving it start taking off, and then they start wanting to know, I don't know, maybe they notice the color he's wearing. And so then they want to know, whose side are you on? And so then they get out. And in their video, because they're the ones posting this. They're the ones who are coming on and saying this. And it was somebody else who I saw showing them, talking about this situation. And she has a little narration. And it's like, oh, how do you guys not see this for yourself? But so they're sitting there saying, well, we're good people. And if somebody is hurt on the road, we're going to try and help them. You know, if a mob's chasing them, you know, we're going to help them and try and help them escape. And they think that it's this person's trying to escape the ICE. So they're willing to, you know, here, let's go. Let's jet, man. Get in. Let's go. And then when they find out, like, no, he's not. He's being mobbed by the people who hate the idea of freedom. And so that and if you're gonna, you know, try and sport that, then, you know, you're the problem. And so then they're like, so, you know, we kicked him out and he's injured on the side of the road, just what you said good people don't do. And that's what the lady who was narrating, it was like, so you think you're good people, and you say yourself that you would never do this because you're good people, but then you turn around and do it. So obviously you're not good people. And which is like, yeah, you know, why are they not seeing their own hypocrisy? And she said, and you don't care about somebody because of their political beliefs, that's where you're at, you know, which that's what we're seeing so much. Like, they're bringing it so tight onto political. It's like, where is the freedom to be? Where is the freedom of opinion? Where is the freedom of choice, you know? And then I saw another person saying, when are you guys going to get it in your head you're the minority? I saw a guy who was saying, I think it was this guy who said that too. He was saying, so, and this was a big, burly, dark-skinned guy. And he said that he's a vet. and that he is filled out the app for, he's joining the IC, and he was posting about it. He said his comments filled with all people who have that same title, and they are all, and they were already joined. They're already in training. And so this guy was he was trying to do like a favor to the blue people and tell them, like, you know, you guys better stop now, because you better get it together, because all the people who have been trained to combat the foreign or domestic, he kept saying, if you're domestic, you know the word, then you are the problem. And that's, we've been trained, and we don't have feelings about the outcome. You know, we've gone through battles. We've gone back to eat dinner together after we've, you know, wiped out a bunch of people, and we've sat and laughed about it. It's like, it's so hard. Like that. I mean, even on the other side of that, to think of what, you know, this warring world has done to people. Like, it's not funny. There's nothing funny about it. Like, watch some of these movies of the guys that, I just watched one recently of the ones that were from Vietnam, and that's the one that was going on when I was a kid. That was the trauma when I was a kid, and it was on the news, and there was so much, you know, there was like there was so much going on, and but all the guys that came back, they're haunted. They're haunted. In this movie that I watched the other day, it was Sissy Spacek, and she was like reading the paper or something, and then she saw that her old boyfriend from when she was in school was so now she's married, she's an adult, she's married with kids, and I swear to God this is a true story, and that her boyfriend from high school was about to be put by the system. He was about to, from the system. So she's really, you know, upset by this and confused. So she writes him a letter, and just wants him to know, you know, just like, I just want you to know how important you are to me, and blah, 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 blah. And so his sisters catch wind of this. And so they say, will you please come and talk to him, because he's given up. He will not fight. And this is not just. This is unfair what they're doing to him. And so she says, I mean, she's like resistant there for a bit, but then she ends up doing it. And then she ends up doing it again and again and again and again and again and again and again. So she starts going and seeing him all the time and talking to him, which her husband is also the same status from the same place. And and she doesn't know he's got any issues, and because he hides it well. This guy, he has issues, but he couldn't hide it as well. And so what had happened was, he was at a place, I think he was in a bar or something, and something happened. I don't remember if it was a loud sound or something. And so all of a sudden, because there's something that happens at this whole thing with this PTSD or something, and they get triggered, and they go back to, in their minds, in their conscious state, goes back to that, and they lose track of what's real and what isn't real. And it's like this trauma response. And tons of them have this. That's the bad thing about the fireworks. Lightning can trigger it. Like, there's a lot of these guys who have these big issues. And they may be getting less and less now, because these guys are getting older and stuff. So eventually she and her husband's starting to get pissed about her going. And so eventually she tells her husband, I want you to go talk to him. And so they're trying all these things to get his date stopped, to get this whole thing stopped, and they can't. So they've set a date, and that's it. He's going. So the husband finally agrees he'll go talk to him. And so he goes in and talks to him, and it's this really emotional thing. And then you'll also see it, because I'm trying to think, because it was like I saw a couple, I think, because there was one, and I don't remember if it was this one, but it might have been this one. It's like a blur. But so there was a lot of weird stuff that went on during this thing, and there was mines everywhere. Even my uncle was walking with his best friend, and they're walking through the jungle and stuff, and his friend in front of him steps on one and blows, and they all get blown, all the guys. And my uncle did and everything, but the one on it, he didn't make it. And it was very traumatizing. Like, these guys were all being traumatized all the time. And it was really vicious. But you think about, like, yeah, if you had all these people all of a sudden landing your place, and you're trying to protect yourself. But see, then the people are all being told different things, because that's what they do in this manipulation. So so whatever happened, it was something similar with that. And the people all got so mad. They went into this village and just like did this mass slaughter. And and so a lot of these people, they come back haunted from these things they did. And then plus they did this whole introduction to heroin. And I don't even know, how they did it. I guess probably kind of like they did at the Spawn Ranch or whatever. Because you have these 3-letter agencies that are like, bring it on and bring it in there, like on the down low. And it seems to come from somewhere else. It's not, like, that's not that upfront about it. It's like, oh, this guy's got this, and this will make you feel better. So then they have these people strung out, making really crazy decisions and doing crazy ass shit. And because they're all, on these different kinds of chemicals, and then, they're being studied, which right now we're being studied. Like, you think that this all isn't all being studied? What is being raining down on us, and how we're being affected, and then, how is it working with these people? How is it working with these people? And we're witnessing how it works for some of these people. They fucking go wacky, man. And they don't think for themselves, and they become so controlled. And so in this movie, though, then it starts bringing this stuff to the surface, what this guy went through, and the other guy, and then he ended up, so he had a weapon, the one who was getting the end, he had a weapon, and so he goes running out of this place because he thinks that this battle has begun there. And so then he's like in the streets, and he's all scared and stuff. And so these cops come, and this one is trying to I think they throw him in the back of the car. He's all confused, like he doesn't even know what's going on. He thinks like that these are soldiers and stuff. So they throw him in the back of the car, and then they see he has a G-UN, and so the guy trying to take it from him is like fighting him, and it goes off. And so that cop ends up, is a goner, and this guy gets blamed, even though it wasn't that same kind of, it was like an accidental, but they didn't care. As far as they were concerned, this guy's crazy. So they don't even give him any kind of leeway because of the struggles of fighting for your country, what happens. So it's just sad as shit. And I'm pretty sure it was true. I don't know. But it was really sad. And it's there all the time when you see these movies, you see like the trauma that these guys have gone through. And then hearing that guy today is like, and this guy was younger. I mean, he was like maybe 40 or something. It's like, so, I don't know, Afghan or something, but whatever. He was like, we would go and just take out all these people, and then we would go back home. We'd go back to the cantina or whatever it's called, the place they go and eat on the base. And he said we would all just sit there and laugh about it. And he said, so we're not going to care. We don't care what's going to happen to you. If you don't care, we don't care. And we see you as domestic, you know, the word. And so he's like warning them, like, we've got all these guys. I'm not the only one. He said, we're about to have 100,000 new characters that are joining into this. And he said, you guys need to realize that this has been with the people. You're the minority. The people want this. The people want to be protected. The people want to get these people out of this country who are hurting kids. And you guys are standing in the way. And so it's like, oh, shit, man. It's going to just, oh, my God. Like, how bad does this have to get? And what in the world? Why? It's like, why? I mean, you want to be like, why can't these kids see? Like, what is motivating them? It's like, Jesus Christ. So who knows how much worse this is going to get, you know? I mean, there's tons of people who think that we're going into this WW3 civil WAR situation, whatever the hell. But it's being orchestrated. It's like that these people are orchestrating this shit, man. These people who listen to these people like Tim. It's like, if this is so motherfucking important, why is he not out there? Why is he not leading the way, you know? It's like, guys, I gotta see you're being used, man. And besides the fact it's being used, you're being used as a distraction. It's like they don't even worried about these people, you know. All they want is the cover. They want the beard. They want the because now it's come out too that these people, you know, that are from Somalia, that are the big battle over, you know, can they stay or do they go over here, and that they in this place, that group is 89% of the corruption. So those people are being used. And that's one of the things, too, about this whole motherfucking thing is, and I talked about this weeks ago, and because when I was watching this other movie where I was just like, oh, duh, is that these people are using them. So when you come in illegal, like these people will be like, oh, yeah, we got your back. But they're using you. Because then they need you to be the face so that they can have the shell that has a representing thing, so that you are what is how they get this, you know, so that they can have missing billions, you know. They're using you. It's like they're not making sure you're getting all this. Why don't you guys stop? People stop letting them use you and start saying, "Where's the money with us?" You know, where's the money? Where's the money? So I don't know. It's just like more and more drama going, more and more drama. But then when you see like the resistance, and then those people think like they're doing something good, like they're fighting against these people. And then I saw this one guy who was talking about, when you think about it in the micro macro of things, is that that's the skin of the country, and these people want there to be no skin, no protective barrier, and that they want it all just open, and which is creates, you know, it allows disease and stuff in. And so that is the way it is. And these people, they're so busy with this. One of the components is definitely TDS, 100%. They're so focused on the orange man bad that he is, you know, creating all this, where they, you know, they want him to be, you know, out there, you know, with a headstone somewhere. And so it's like, man, they just, I don't know. And then there's like part of it too. It's like, it's almost like he feeds into it, you know. Now it's gonna, I don't know. It's just like it's so much drama. And the thing is like for those of us who already are awake, that it's like affecting us way different than it's affecting them. And so it's like, we have to be the ones who are like in observation. And to me, it's kind of like, it is like showing us of, how important it is to be sovereign, not to be led by others, not to, because like we're watching it play out, the bad part of mind control, like these people being controlled by these narratives when they don't, like it's like this false reality, and that they are just playing along. I mean, but it's not like they're playing along for, I mean, they really believe it. Like they really think all of this stuff. And so it's a different experience for sure for them. Like it's all different realities happening. And we're just happen to be in the one who is already, seeing more of, I don't know, more awareness, being able to see more of, more information. It's like they have a very limited information. It's like I said, it's almost like their nose is pressed on the window, as you awaken, it's more stepping back and stepping back and stepping back and getting your view bigger and bigger and bigger, instead of just like looking at what's right here, and then having someone keep, it's like a viewmaster, they keep shifting it so that they show you what they want you to see. But the more that you step back, the more you get to see. And so that is like in the awakening. And so the people who are more awake, but then that also is, there's another side to that of people's own judgment, because then you have these people who wake up and then they go into judgment of these people. It's like, well, don't you remember when you weren't awake? Don't you remember all the things that you woke up to and you felt misled? So it is, it's a big component on their part is ego and judgmental. And that's why, you got to be aware of those things, those kind of emotions that come up. That's why I say, you got to be aware of your emotions while you're watching all this, and, be able to confront things like being judgmental. And you do it through remembering, through compassion of things that, like, oh God, I remember when I woke up and all of a sudden realizing, like, oh my God, I thought it was this and it was that. And so, and for the people who are going through it, that either they are just role players for us to see the truth, or they are going to wake up to their own ignorance, and it's going to be very embarrassing. Like I said, it's almost like every time I look at it, it's like the emperor's new clothes. It's like all of a sudden realizing, oh my God, I'm naked. And which is also funny, because how many people had those dreams too, of being somewhere and being naked, and showing up at a test and being naked. Like there was certain dreams that tons and tons of people had that makes you feel like, well, does it have to do with, like, it was a premonition, or it was like showing you something that was coming, but you didn't have the awareness of to think about it more. And so, because like the falling dream, like all of us having these falling dreams, it's like, fuck, who knows? Like, man, who knows what's going to happen? Because, geez, I mean, no matter where you're at, like a sinkhole could suddenly open up. I mean, the weirdest shit goes on. Like a house can suddenly blow. It's like all sorts of shit is just going on. The houses are blowing, starting neighborhoods on. Like there's always just constantly weird stuff just keeps going and going and going. The biggest thing is just to remember, no matter what goes down, that it can't hurt you. That's what you got to keep putting into your mind. It's like we're really just watching a show. This is just like a show playing out, just like sitting and watching the news and then getting yourself too caught up in it. And then, and whatever occurs, like this morning, I was during the night, even a little while ago, I heard like these things where it's like, is that an explosion? It's like, no matter what goes down, where it goes down, what you're around, what you're involved with, whatever happens around you, and if something happens and you all of a sudden, because you probably won't even feel it. You won't feel anything. It's not like you're going to all of a sudden be like, wait a minute, did I just get killed? It takes a lot of people a minute to figure out, because I'm telling you, you feel exactly the same. I've come out of my body, and I was shocked when I looked back and saw my body, because I felt exactly the same. I didn't feel like I was missing a thing. And so that's the thing. When you come out, you won't even know. And so once you realize you're out, that is where you want to, don't be like, oh, well, now I'm going to see Jesus. You know, he'll have a line. Don't worry about that. That's where I think that's where you want to direct yourself. Oh, this is it. This is my opening. Now I'm going to the heaven on earth. Now I'm going to the place where we're all going to get together and make this great world together. And so think of that, put that into your mind, where you want to go. Don't let it be like, oh my God, now I'm dead, now this is going to happen or that's going to happen. Direct where you want to go. Direct how put yourself where you want to go. That's the breaking free from the prison. That's the breaking free from all this control. Put yourself where you want to be. And so throughout all these different things going on, it should be bringing up to you like, well, I don't want that. Well, I don't want that. What do I want? I want a world where people are happy. I want a world where we're all connected. I want a world where we enjoy life. I want a world where people are creative and there's all sorts of cool places to go. And put yourself, go in that direction. Is that, to me, is this whole thing of what we're here to do right now, is to come into this position as creators, to know and direct ourselves, to not be caught up in any storylines and be held back by what we believe. And that's what they spend so much time trying to create belief systems, to create control over our minds or our consciousness. And that's why through all this awakening, it has to do with you coming into your own state of consciousness, into your own state of mind, and directing where and how you want to be or where it is you want to live. And so, and I don't know, I don't know how this is going to go down, like in this physical thing, like that thing when I went on to listen to it yesterday after the live that was talking about where it was saying the ascension, the mechanisms of the ascension. And it was saying that like we're all going to die, and then we're going to, the ones who are in a certain conscious state are going to go in the direction of the new earth and create this new world, which is going to bring us into the same space with all these other beings or light beings and higher vibration. So otherwise, if you don't go there, then you go, to where it is you believe that you deserve to go or whatever. So it's more, and people who, this is a thing too, I was talking about this yesterday, because there's all this big division with the men and the women, and men being so hateful towards women, and women being so, like, why do you hate women so much? Why do you want to be around them if you hate them so much? And there's such a huge narrative of all men are gay, then they're all gay, they hate women. And I think that a lot of men in this patriarchal society, that they've been allowed to get away with a lot of stuff that in their heart and soul they know isn't right. And so I think that they have like a battle within, between their soul and their ego, what drives them. And so they've all done things and gotten away with things that they don't feel are right. So the battle is within them. They're battling themselves. And so I think, so much of what is going on in the world has to do with everybody healing, everybody facing themselves and healing their inner demons. And so I think, at some point where the people who do heal their inner demons and work their way out of this toxic kind of self-image or self-identity, that then they can pull themselves into what they deserve and feeling like, yeah, I deserve to live a good life. I deserve, somebody who really cares about me. I deserve to live the way I want to live. So I don't know, because to me, the part of this whole thing is become more and more of a dream. Like more and more, it's like it doesn't go more and more towards this physical. It goes more and more towards the dream, and so it is. And I talked about that years ago. Like, is this whole ascension thing that we're going to die, but as long as we're conscious, we don't really go into that state of existence. We go into where we want to go. And so then when I saw that, I was like, oh, maybe it is. Maybe that is what's going to be, something's going to happen where a lot of people think it's the end, it's the end of the world, but it's the end of this, but it's not the end of us. We just transfer. We just go to someplace different. We just go and create someplace different, but it's all based on your vibration. And so your vibration is going to move you to where it is you're going to go. And so a lot of people, if it happened right now, like there's a lot of people who would be like low vibration, lots, like most, I think, because even these people who think that they're so awake, they're so judgmental and hateful towards these other people. It's like you got to get yourself. Okay, I get it. It's you got to get yourself into this um state of mind of compassion and understanding and being like, yeah, I mean, I feel bad for them. I don't feel like, a bunch of stupid asses, we could have a better world. I don't think that way. It's like all these things lead to something. They all, and for some of us, it is all going to lead to a better world. And for other ones, it's going to lead them to going and living lives for more lessons so they can go learn more. And who knows? Like, you don't know everybody's storyline. You don't know. We don't know what's next. We don't know, even when we have all these people prophesizing, saying, oh, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. It's like people are just guessing. Being able to tell with time and everything, it's like, you just don't know. You don't know any of the stuff. That's a part of this whole journey, is the not knowing and learning how to trust and believe. Like, believe in what you want to believe in. Believe in the positive. Believe in good. Believe in happy. Believe in possibilities. Don't get caught up in this world where they want to keep you in limitation and that everything's a disaster. Disaster comes, it's just moving us into our next state of being. It's not like, oh god, that sucks. No, as a matter of fact, a lot of us are going to be going someplace a lot better. It's like, it's going to get a lot better. And I think, a big thing is just to keep on remembering, like, whatever happens, to just not be in fear of it, and it will be a very, very seamless kind of experience. It will, I think, for a lot of people be like you're in one reality, then suddenly you're in a different reality. And that's what kind of busts me up with these people who keep saying, like, oh, we got a timeline jump. We had another timeline jump. Because that was one thing. Every time the Schumann does a little skippity-doo all day, oh, we did a timeline jump. It's like, dude, what has changed? What has changed? In the timeline jump, something's going to change. Our whole existence is going to change. So until my fucking existence changes, then yeah, I'm not on board with this timeline jumping, because what is changing? What has changed? We're still going to get up. There's still going to be these people in the streets fighting to the death over somebody else's bullshit. And it's a hard watch, man. And we're still going to hear news friggin' trying to manipulate us how to look at things. We're still going to see the politicians playing their fucking games. We're still going to be being exposed to all this corruption that's all around us. And so, it's just, but all of the things is to get us to align to ourselves. I'm telling you, it's all to find your own moral compass, to find your own alignment of what it is that you think, how it is you feel. And so, and I don't know, I don't know what, is going to go down with this whole situation. And they've got silver on hold because it's got to all be reevaluated. And so we've got to see, because it still seems to me that there is these certain factors that go along with all of us that go to this world. And I don't know that we're going to die. I don't know. I don't know if some of the people are just going to be pulled away from us, and then we're going to suddenly be living this other world. I don't know. I don't know how it's all going to go down. I just know it's going to go down. Okay, what is it, honey? I get that you're upset about something. You're not happy. You're not comfortable. It's like nobody is, girl. It's a rough time here. It's a rough time on this planet. We're all having a rough time. You want outside now? Okay. Freezing cold. Okay, go. Are you going? Oh, you just want to ring the bell? Because now she wants to go eat again, I'm sure. So, anyways, that's what we're going to go do. So, anyways, but everything is, to help. It really is, in the bigger scheme of things, everything is to help you center in on you, to figure you out, and keep pulling towards the things that seem, positive. And being judgmental and being hateful towards the ignorance it's not positive. It's going to hold you. I mean, so many people think they're above these people. It's like, but you're held in the same place. As long as you're judging them and hating them and blaming them, then you are in their same space. You are their opponent. It's like, pull free, and then get yourself into just observing the chaos, observing the ignorance, and being happy that you're not in that same space, that you've pulled free. Because, fuck, man, I was a person who was an activist. I fucking have been on a lot of marches and shit. So, fuck, I'm glad that where I'm at. And it is a hard watch, and it does bring it home. I was like, geez, man, what is that story? For what? Whatever it is about being glad that of what you've seen, so you're not walking that walk anymore. I can't think of what it is, but I think it's like some biblical reference or something, because be glad that you've pulled free from where you've been and you have put yourself on a new trail. And so I know I am. I look back at all of the things that I've gone through in this life and all the things that I've done and been, and I'm just glad of where I'm at, even though I have plenty of days where I lose my mind still over being pushed into being aggravated, because the dogs can drive me insane. But then it's like I can just see myself again and be like, okay, it's all you, girl. It's all you. So you have all this time to reevaluate yourself and get yourself to where it is you want to be. And a big thing is don't be in judgment of yourself. You got to fall in love with yourself. You got to accept yourself. You got to be proud of yourself. And that's the struggle. I think that's a struggle with a lot of people. And, but, you're not going to find it saving somebody. You're not going to find it in all these ways. You're going to find it by learning how to love yourself, learning how to love everybody else, and learning how to have the day you want to have. That's where you're going to find the peace that you're looking for. So, anyways, we'll see what this day brings us. Now we're on a Monday. So we got a couple of days. It's going to seem like a couple of hours, basically. But we got a couple of days now to what's coming next. So, we'll see, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. And so tomorrow will be Tuesday, so we'll talk about it in the morning. But then tomorrow at noon, I'll be going live again. So we'll be going live tomorrow, and I'll try and set another one of those little reminders. So anyways, I'll talk to you later. Bye.